Across the world, some children are born touched by the moon. Their skin pale like morning light. Their eyes are bright like fire. Their presence is misunderstood. This is called albinism. A rare condition where the body makes little to no melanin, the pigment that gives color to skin, hair, and eyes. It affects appearance. It can affect vision. But it does not affect the heart, the spirit, or the soul. Yet in many places, myths are stronger than truth. And fear, louder than understanding. Some are called spirits. Others, curses. Many are cast out before they even speak their first word. This is the story of one such child. They said I should never have been born. The night I came into this world, the moon turned blood red. A cold wind swept through our village. Chickens stopped clucking. The old chief fell down without reason. And when I opened my eyes for the first time, my mother screamed. Not from joy, but from fear. I was pale. Too pale. My hair was white like ash. My eyes, golden like fire. They said I was not human. That I came from the spirits. That I was a curse. They named me Omo Osupa, child of the moon. But it was not a name of love. It was a warning. By sunrise, the elders had made a decision. Take her to the forest, they said. Let the spirits claim what is theirs. And so, wrapped in old cloth, I was taken from my mother's arms and left beneath a tree in the heart of the sacred forest. No one looked back. But the forest did not eat me. Instead, someone was watching. Someone who knew the truth. The forest was dark, but not silent. Crickets sang. Trees whispered. Eyes watched me from the shadows. I was just a baby, alone beneath a tree, but not forgotten. She found me before the night was over. An old woman with skin like tree bark and eyes like river stones. Her name was Iya Orun, mother of the spirit world. A healer. A secret keeper. A woman feared and respected by all, yet rarely seen. They said she spoke to leaves. The birds answered when she called. That she walked with the wind. When she found me, she didn't run. She didn't scream. She touched my face and smiled. So white, she whispered. So bright. A moon child indeed. She wrapped me in warm cloth and took me to her hut, deep inside the forest. There, under a thatched roof, beside fire and herbs, I grew. She gave me a new name, Morayo, meaning I see joy. And slowly, I learned the language of the trees. Iya Orun told me stories of the moon. She said I was no curse, but a gift. That one day, I would show the world what they were too blind to see. I did not understand her then. But I never forgot her words. I grew like the trees, quietly, slowly, and strong. By my 12th year, I could mix herbs that cooled fever, crush roots that calmed the heart, and listen to the wind for signs of coming rain. But still, I wondered, why did my people leave me? From the edge of the forest, I would sometimes watch the village. I saw children laughing, running in the sand. I saw mothers carrying babies on their backs. I saw fathers returning from the farms. None of them looked like me. My skin glowed like morning light. My hair was silver in the sun. My eyes, too bright, too strange. Once, a young boy saw me near the trees. His face twisted with fear. He ran and shouted, "Ghost! Ghost in the bush!" The next day, they burned herbs at the forest edge. The elders poured palm oil on the ground and warned children never to go near again. They feared me. Even after all these years. That night, I asked Iya Orun, why don't they want me? She looked into the fire, long and silent. Then she said, because people fear what they do not understand. But one day, Morayo, they will need the very one they cast away. Years passed by, and that day, it began with the wind. Hot, dry, and angry. It blew for 7 days without rest. Dust swallowed the sky. The rivers thinned. The soil cracked like broken pots. Even the goats bleated in confusion. In the village, the elders gathered under the iroko tree. The gods are angry, they said. Nothing like this has happened before. They sacrificed kola nuts. They poured libations. But the rain did not come. The crops withered. The yam barns stood empty. People grew thin. Children cried at night with swollen bellies. Fear returned like smoke in the air. And then the whispers began. Didn't we cast away a spirit child? She was born the night the moon turned red. What if this is our revenge? Some said I had cursed the land. That the forest girl, the one with white skin and fire eyes, had brought the drought upon them. They did not know I watched them steal from behind the trees. I saw their fear. I felt their hunger. But I did not hate them. I only asked the moon, is this why I was born? That night, Iya Orun sat beside me and said, the land is crying, Morayo. And soon, it will call your name. That night, I couldn't sleep. The forest was restless. Even the owls were silent. I lay on my mat beside Iya Orun's fire, staring at the ceiling of woven palm. Then, sleep took me, and with it, a strange dream. I stood beneath the great iroko tree in the village square. The wind howled like a wounded animal. The sky was dark. Villagers surrounded me, their faces twisted in fear. I reached out to speak, but no voice came. Then the iroko tree opened. Yes, the tree split down the middle, glowing from inside. And a white dove flew out, wings burning like stars. It circled above me 3 times, then perched on my shoulder. The people gasped. Some fell to their knees. Others cried. A voice echoed from no place. The one you rejected shall be your light. I woke up with sweat on my skin and fire in my heart. Iya Orun, I whispered, I saw the iroko tree speak. She didn't look surprised. She only nodded and said, the time is near, Morayo. The land is ready. You must go to them. To the village. I asked, shaking. Yes, she said. To the people who left you. You will not go as a curse, but as their only hope. I packed only what Iya Orun gave me, a gourd of sacred water, a pouch of healing roots, and a strip of white cloth she tied around my wrist. For strength, she said, holding my hands tight. And for remembrance. I was shaking inside, but I did not cry. The path from the forest to the village felt longer than ever. My bare feet knew the trail, but my heart did not. The trees whispered as I passed. The wind followed close, like it wanted to warn me. As I neared the village, I stopped behind the tall grass and watched. The place I once called home looked broken. The wells were dry. Children sat quiet under trees, too tired to play. Mothers stared at the sky, hoping for clouds that never came. Then someone saw me. A boy, older now, pointed. It's her, he whispered. The forest spirit. Others turned. Their faces were wide with fear, others with wonder. She has returned, someone gasped. She walks like a human, but look at her eyes. Still, I stepped forward, heart pounding. I raised my hand slowly and said, I bring no curse. I bring healing. If you will listen. The silence was thick. And then, someone screamed. Seize her. They dragged me to the village square, just like they did when I was a baby, but this time, I walked. I didn't fight. I didn't cry. I held my head high. The villagers circled me, whispering, staring. Some looked at me with fear. Others with curiosity. But none with kindness. The elders came, leaning on their carved staffs, their faces heavy with suspicion. "Who sent you?" one asked. "I came on my own." "Why now?" asked another. I looked at their tired eyes, their cracked lips, the dust on their robes. "I came because your land is dying. And the answer lies not in sacrifice, but in healing." A sharp laugh broke the air. It was the oldest elder, Chief Ekimtala, the same one who ordered my exile. "Do you take us for fools?" he shouted. "You, who came with a red moon and brought drought with your breath." "I am not your curse," I said calmly. "I am your cure." Gasps filled the air. But Chief Ekimtala raised his hand. "No child of spirits will walk freely here. If you speak the truth, you will survive our test." "What test?" I asked. He pointed at the sacred fire. "Step into the flames. If they do not burn you, we will listen." The villagers made a circle of fire in the square, logs soaked in oil, burning high with orange flames and black smoke. I stood at the edge, my heart pounding in my chest like a drum. "She won't survive," someone whispered. "She's a witch," another said. "She'll dance in the flames." Chief Ekimtala raised his staff. "If she is truly a child of the gods, the fire will not touch her." I looked at the fire, then at the people, the same ones who had once thrown me into the forest like trash. Now, they wanted to watch me burn. I touched the white cloth on my wrist. Iya Orun's voice echoed in my mind. "You were not born to be ashes, Morayo. You were born to shine." I stepped forward. One foot into the heat. Then another. The fire hissed. The crowd gasped. But the flames parted. Like a river making way for a stone. I walked through slowly. My skin did not burn. My hair did not singe. Even the cloth around my wrist stayed white. When I reached the other side, the village was silent. The elders stared at me, their mouths open. Then one woman fell to her knees and whispered, "Forgive us, Moon Child. We were blind." After the firewalk, the villagers no longer called me a ghost. They called me a moon daughter. Some bowed when I passed. Others hid their faces in shame. But I did not come for praise. I came to heal. The land was still dry. The sky is still silent. No rain had fallen in months. I asked the farmers to take me to the old yam fields. The ground was cracked, empty, and hot. I knelt and touched the soil. It crumbled like dust. Then I noticed something strange: no insects, no worms. Not even ants. I took a deep breath and tasted the air. Bitter. Like poison. "Where do you bury your waste?" I asked. They looked at each other. One man pointed to a corner of the forest, near a stream. "We throw our rotten things there." I followed the trail and gasped. Piles of filth, dead animals, broken calabashes, and dark water that no longer flowed. The land was not just dry, it was dying. Choked by the very people it fed. I returned to the square and said, "Your soil is sick, not cursed. And only you can make it well again." The people listened. But not all believed. And one man's anger was rising like smoke. Chief Ekimtala's eyes burned with fury. "How dare a child of spirit speak of our land?" he roared. The crowd gasped and stepped back. "You bring shame and danger," he spat. "I will not let you undo what the ancestors believed." That night, shadows moved near my hut. Iya Orun warned, "Ekimtala plans to stop you." The old fears die hard. I didn't sleep. I heard footsteps and whispers. When dawn came, the village woke to find my herbs destroyed and my sacred water spilled on the dirt. But the worst was a message, carved on a tree. "Live now, or face the curse." Fear crept into hearts again. Some said I should flee. Others stood by me. I took a deep breath. I was sent here for this, I said. If we do not heal the land, no one will survive. The next morning, I went to the stream where the waste had poisoned the soil. With help from those who believed, we began to clean. It was hard, dirty work. But every handful of trash was a promise, a step toward life. Ekimtala watched from a distance, his anger like a storm gathering strength. That night, the village was too quiet. No children's laughter. No dogs barking. Even the crickets were still. I sat by the fire, feeling eyes on me from the shadows. Suddenly, a scream shattered the silence. People rushed out, faces pale, bodies trembling. Chief Ekimtala's son had fallen ill. His skin was burning like fire, and his breath came in short, painful gasps. The village healer could do nothing. Whispers spread fast, the curse has returned. Ekimtala's anger turned to fear. He came to me, eyes wild. If your child of the moon can heal, save my son. Prove you are no curse. I did not hesitate. I wrapped a sacred cloth around the boy's wrist, gave him herbs from the forest, and whispered prayers taught by Iya Orun. Hours passed like slow rivers. At dawn, the boy opened his eyes, clear and bright. The village gasped. Even Ekimtala looked unsure. I do not know what magic you hold, he said quietly. But maybe you are the hope we need. That night, something in the air shifted. The silence was broken. Days passed, and the village held its breath. The sky stayed grey, heavy with promise, but still no rain. I spent my time healing the sick, teaching the villagers how to care for the soil and water. Then, one afternoon, dark clouds gathered. The wind picked up, swirling leaves and dust. The first drop fell. A single, soft drop on dry earth. Then another. And another. Soon, a steady rain poured down like blessings from the sky. Children danced in the mud. Mothers wept with joy. The river swelled. The fields drank deep. The village was alive again. Chief Ekimtala stood beside me, silent but watching. I was wrong, he admitted softly. You are no curse. You are our blessing. I smiled, feeling the weight of years lift from my shoulders. The moon shone through the clouds that night, bright and full. And for the first time, I believed. Months passed, and the village healed. The fields were green again, the rivers full, and laughter returned. One evening, under a silver moon, Chief Ekimtala called a meeting. He stood before the villagers and said, "We once feared the child of the moon. But now, we see her light." They decided to create a festival, a day to celebrate Morayo, the white moon child. Drums beat loud. Women sang songs of the moon and stars. Children danced with painted faces, wearing white feathers and silver beads. I stood at the center, my heart full of hope and pride. The festival was not just for me. It was for every person who had ever felt different, cast aside, or misunderstood. That night, the village was united, stronger and kinder than before. But deep inside me, I knew the journey was not over. Because in every shadow, some fear still lived. And the moon's light would guide me through what was to come. The festival ended, but peace was fragile. One night, strange noises echoed from the forest edge, whispers, footsteps, shadows moving. The village dogs growled and hid. I felt a chill crawling on my skin. Then, a cruel voice carried on the wind. "Moon child, you cannot change fate." Someone was coming, someone angry, someone who feared what I had become. The next morning, Chief Ekimtala gathered the elders again, but his eyes were dark, filled with worry. "I feel the old fear returning," he said quietly. "Some do not want the curse broken." That day, I found broken crops, and strange marks carved into the trees. Fear whispered back into hearts. But I knew one thing. I could not let the shadow win. With the moon as my weakness, I promised to protect my people, no matter what came next. The forest had always been my home, but that day, it whispered a new secret. Iya Orun led me deeper than ever before, to a hidden cave beneath a giant fig tree. Inside, ancient paintings covered the walls, images of moonlit figures, pale and glowing, protecting the land. "This is our true story," Iya Orun said softly. "Your people once honored those born of the moon as guardians." I traced the paintings with trembling fingers. "The curse was a lie born of fear," I said. I felt power stirring in me, a connection to the past, to the earth, to the stars. We returned to the village with new hope. I shared the story of the guardians, the real children of the moon. The people listened, faces shifting from doubt to wonder. The shadow was still near, but light was growing stronger. The moon was full and bright the night I stood alone on the hill. The village slept below, safe for the first time in years. But my heart was heavy. I had a choice. To stay and lead, to protect these people who once feared me. Or to return to the forest, to live as a healer in shadows, away from pain and hate. I looked up at the silver moon and remembered Iya Orun's words. "Your light is meant for more than hiding." The wind wrapped around me like a warm hand. I made my choice. I would stay. Not just as the moon child, but as a leader, a bridge between old fear and new hope. I would teach them to see with their hearts, to love beyond skin and stories. Because that was the true magic of the moon. Years passed, and the village changed forever. The Moon Child Festival became a time of joy and unity, not fear. Children born differently were no longer hidden, they are celebrated. Stories of the pale child who saved the land became legend, told around fires for generations. I stood by the river one evening, watching the moon rise high. I knew my journey was part of something greater, a promise that light can break through the darkest myths. The village had learned to love what they once feared. And in that love, we found strength. My skin was white like the moon, but my heart was full of all the colors of life. I was not a curse. I was a blessing. And so are all who are different. Moral lesson: fear of what is different often blinds us to the gifts that lie within the unfamiliar. True strength comes not from conformity, but from embracing uniqueness and compassion. Healing and unity begin when we replace ignorance with understanding. Those who are rejected may one day become the very source of salvation. In every outcast lies the potential for greatness. The end. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the story, give us a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. Hit the notification bell to stay updated. Your support means everything to us.